Hey, 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 lover.
Hello, hello, hello. This is episode 6 of Playful Leadership and Other Things with Lucy and Sarah. And I am Sarah Creevy. I am the playful coach, making good leaders into great leaders through the power of
Ooh.
playfulness.
Oh, God, that sounded good, Sarah. Check that. I have got nothing is impressive to follow that up with. I'm Lucy, and today I am existing. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, we're just going to go with existing today. And I like positive psychology. That's enough for
One of
today.
those days.
It's one of those days, yeah.
Well, and a kind of a good intro into our theme for today, which is uh, the school holidays and how we can, those of us who are parents and working, and even if we're not working, if we're just parents, that is work, and we have children on school holidays, whether that's the long summer holidays where we are in the UK at the moment, or whether it's any other school holidays. Lucy's over in Australia, so you're in your deepest depths of winter now,
Yep. Yep.
which is, as we discussed off air, about the same temperature as it is here in the UK at the moment. So we're not going to feel too
It
sorry for her.
is. Though, do feel sorry for me because I thought it was going to be hot all year round, and it is not.
No, when I went over in July for the Positive Psychology Association conference, I took all my summer gear. I was freezing.
Error.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big error.
Dithering.
Mm.
Dithering.
Um, but Lucy does have 4 children, so she does know about the school holidays
I do.
and how we can get through it. And playfulness is a good place to start, I think, with inspiration for that. And even if we are not feeling like we want to play, I'm feeling particularly, my husband's off this week um, with the kids and has decided today as well not to send our youngest to nursery so that he can have a
No.
day of quality time. Yeah, I know. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this?
Like, yeah. Don't you want a break?
Yeah. So he's got 2 of them at home, and I'm not even parenting today, and they are driving me absolutely bonkers. So
Yeah.
I've come to retreat to my office here and have a lovely conversation about positive things and how we can help make that feel better. And we normally start actually with a little sharing session on a playful thing that you have encountered, seen, or a joyful thing that you have been part of or noticed recently. Let's start there, please.
Well, I was thinking about 1,000 different things, and I've forgotten them all. I would say the playful thing or something. I've just been loving life, Sarah. I'm not gonna lie. I have been noticing beautiful buildings. I have been really noticing great conversations, and I have been obsessing about the joy of the human spirit. So it's an inside job. So whilst no ha-ha play, lots and lots of good vibes. I've had some just amazing conversations recently that have made my heart exceptionally happy. Yeah. And I was working today, delivering, not yesterday, sorry, and that's always play.
Yeah.
Like getting to work with people, that is my favorite play. So, yeah,
And everything you've mentioned there to me is playful, right? Like buildings, the way that they're constructed. If you actually stop and look at them, there's an architect behind that who has sketched out the plans and the drawings and where did that begin and where did that get to, and how they've made the decisions about where to put things. And but there's loads of interesting architecture around, like in Brisbane by the conference centre. There's that building with they're building at the moment, aren't they, with the like wavy glass
yeah,
front, which is
yeah,
so cool and really playful. So I love looking for playfulness in buildings. But even the art of conversation, there is nothing more playful
no,
than in being engaged in a good conversation. It ticks all of the boxes, like spontaneity. You're in the moment, you're listening to that person, you're responding with your whole self to whatever it is that's going on. You're creating something between you. So even if you don't think about it in this way, like conversations are a, a genuine act of creativity between 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, however many people are having them. Uh,
yeah.
it's pleasurable. You've just said how amazingly engaged you find it, how enjoyable you find it. That's the pleasure right there. Um, and we can bring humor in most conversations, I would say, even if they're ostensibly about serious topics. At some point or other, when we've got that sense of connection together with that other person we're having the conversation with, we share a laugh about something. There's some
Yeah,
level of humor that always comes into it. And then there's the
absolutely.
curiosity, which is the final piece in the playfulness. And that is, again, part of a good, decent conversation.
It is. Yeah. I feel like conversations are like a dying art. I've had so many conversations about story recently, and the powerfulness of story, and how stories are not just the words we speak, they are the tonality, the pitch, they are the physical embodiment of the message that you're trying to put across. And bodies are stories. We are just a collection of stories, and this is in our body, it's in our chemicals, it's in our fascia, whatever it is. Literally everything within our body is a story and a memory that is stored, that we reawaken and that we change. And so many of us are passive, that I'm genuinely at the minute to actively participate in a good conversation. So to feel, like, to stop trying to be cool, but like just to feel that conversation is the best. And I
Yeah.
think we have this everyday magic, man, and all of us can
Yeah,
access it.
exactly. That's the beauty of it. We can all access it. And like this is like tip number one then coming out, even though we haven't properly delved into the topic yet. Kids, holidays, juggling, just make sure you make time to talk, speak,
Yeah. Yeah.
have
Yeah.
conversations with other adults, have conversations with your kids as well. Like if your kids are old enough to have conversations, you can have the best. If you enter into it as from that place of curiosity, I find can be like a really useful in, because you can think like, oh, you're 3 or whatever, you're 5 or whatever, I can't have a decent conversation with you. But if you can enter with that curiosity of like, well, what is your world like?
Yeah.
Let me into your world and get
Yeah.
down on their level, like physically as well as mentally. You can have great conversations about, what's going on in their mind, like suspending this notion we have a reality. Like, "Oh, yeah, you saw the unicorn jump over the cloud. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
What was that
Yeah.
like? What color did you
Seeing the
see?"
world through their eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's a
Amazing.
trip. It's so I love that.
Yeah.
What was your joy?
My joy, I was thinking about this and, I took the first couple of weeks of this summer holidays off just to be with my oldest daughter who's at school, and I never get to spend any one-to-one time with her, and we went off to the cinema together. And actually, the cinema experience itself wasn't that great. She found the film a bit scary. It was a bit much for her. But we walked there and she wanted to skip down the road. And I was like, I'm joining you. You know what? Like, I love a bit of a skip.
Yep, don't we all?
Like, we just skipped down the road together. And there was joy in that in itself. But there was also joy in the fact, I think at one point, I think it was a postman who was ahead of us on the pavement, and we just like skipped past this postman. And of course, there was a bit of me that was like, another adult, I need to, and I was like, no,
No.
I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And we skipped past the postman and he was like, oh, can I join in? Like just seeing that
Yay.
ripple effect. Like there wasn't
Yeah.
like, no one was like, oh my God, who is that woman skipping down the road? Anybody who saw us, who made contact with us during that time, there was this ripple effect of joy. And that's what I love about it. It's kind of this idea, and we've talked about this before, of when you engage personally in that playfulness, that isn't just a benefit to you, that's a benefit to anybody else around you who sees you doing that.
Yeah.
And that's where the community comes from. And I love that.
Yeah, it is. And do you know what else it is? And again, this is because I was teaching this week, and this was just the bee that was in my bonnet, is people don't realize how powerful they are. Like, people do not realize just even the tiniest bit of the power that we have. Our world is our creation. We know this, but we are energetic beings. And the energy that we put out is kind of the reality that we create, and it's what invites other people into us. We get out what we put in, and that is like an example of that. Like you created that reality. You changed the reality for somebody else just by choosing to actively participate in a way that gave you joy. Like it was never passive. And I keep having this like message with people at the moment, like stop being passive in your life. You are beyond powerful. Everything you do, like you were saying, has this ripple effect. So how are you showing up? How are you engaging? What is the energy and the energetic exchange that you want to give? Because yeah, you can go into the neuroscience of it, but life, it's a lived experience, isn't it? Like live it.
Exactly. Seek it out. And it doesn't need to be complicated. It can just be skipping down the road, having a chat with somebody, looking around you and finding something that you've not noticed before.
Yeah,
Like, we
that's
can
the
do all of
magic.
these things.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well done us for being, well, not well done us, but what a gift to us that we had another day. We got up and we were given another day, and we get to do exactly what we want within that day. Biggest trip ever. It's amazing.
Love that outlook.
So
See, spreading the love, infectious to
always. Right then, Sarah, you told me you've got a game. I want to do it.
yeah. So I've got a little exercise that I wanted to try out. And this came from the idea that actually I wanted to try it out on this podcast for a while, and particularly today because I've got both my kids at home. I can hear them like whining and fighting and crying and all of all of the things um, that come from mornings in our house. And I'm like, oh, I'm really finding it hard to access my playfulness right now. So why don't we start this podcast with this playful exercise and see what that brings?
Yep,
I'm
let's
going
go
to
for it.
caveat that with I, however, already feel lifted by the conversation that we've just had. So,
Perfect.
again, live demonstration of the power and the art of conversation to
Loves it.
generate some positive energy. Cool. Okay. So, this exercise, we need a piece of paper and a pen, and
Got it.
anyone listening can
Got.
join in with this as well. Now, what we're going to do is you and I, Lucy, we can't quite look each other in the eye because we can only see each other on the screen. But you're not going to.
Okay.
The idea is you're not going to look at your piece of paper,
Okay.
all right? And you're going to just place your pen somewhere on it,
Okay.
and then just scribble. Just draw some like one continuous line. Don't come off the paper again, but just scribble around it for a bit until you've. I'm going to stop there. Okay. Right. Let's have a look at your paper.
Oh, my pen's a bit light.
Oh well, that's all right. It's a podcast. No one can see it over their ears anyway.
I did a flower really well.
Amazing. What you're
Thank
going
you.
to do now is rotate that piece of paper through 90 degrees. Okay. And now you're going to make something of that scribble. So you can turn it into whatever jumps out at you. And we're just going to spend like, let's say, like 30 seconds doing that. Okay. You
Okay.
got something?
Yep.
Right. So you said initially you'd drawn a flower without knowing it. What have you got now?
I have got a dog with its tongue out lying under a blanket with its tail out.
Amazing. I love that. I really wish I could see it. You have to send me a picture of it afterwards.
I'll have to try. It's so like fuzzy.
That's cool. And so if I'd said to you, can you draw a picture of a dog lying on a blanket with his tongue out?
And I said no. And you will look at it and you're like, Lucy, that's a stretch. Um, but I knew.
I wasn't sure what to make of mine actually. And I started out drawing a frame around it. I thought maybe it's a piece of abstract art. And then I thought actually it looks like a ball of wool. So I drew some knitting needles next to it and a kind of some more lines around it so that it looks like it's a kind of rolled up ball of wool.
Loves it.
So,
It
yeah, what like, that's the
looks like
exercise.
noodles to me with
It
chopsticks
could
in it.
it could also be a plate of noodles. That's true, but that's the exercise.
It's delightful. I enjoyed it. I felt like I had lots of good memories as well as I was doing it because we've just bought a house, which is I know, very
Yeah.
exciting. That's a conversation for another day, but
Yeah.
it's quite British and it's old. And when I was first drawing this, I was imagining the flowers I'm going to plant at the new house. And then I was like, oh, we can have a dog. And then I was like, bugger the house, let's draw the dog. So it kind of gave me loads of like good vibes. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
But it brought other things into it that you hadn't expected.
Exactly.
And has it changed your mood or your
Yeah.
sense of being?
I feel playful. I feel light. And do you know what? Sometimes it's just nice to just sit and doodle with your mate.
Yeah.
Like, I know that sounds really silly, but like, oh, let's just do this. Like,
But
yeah, please. That's great.
it's another simple thing, isn't it? I always have this ambition. I've got a friend, another mum friend who I hang out with on Thursdays. We've both got our little ones together. And I've got this adult colouring book. You know, those books that you get with, they don't need to be adult colouring, they can be kids colouring, but they market them to adults, you know, basically colouring
Yeah,
books.
yeah,
And I really wanted, I always think like, oh, I just want to sit down with you and just chat and colour in
yeah,
together. We can like get the kids colouring, you can do some colouring. Like, why do those
yeah,
things have to be the preserve of the kids? And when I do sit down and ever try and do that with the kids, I sometimes find that I get a bit drawn into the perfectionist, you know, kind of like, oh no, don't put that. No, you're getting glue on the table. Yeah, but actually, if I join in with it, I kind of lose that because I'm in with my
yeah,
own jazz.
yeah. My kids will have walked off and I'll still be on task.
Yeah. Right, we've ordered this now, Mum. We're going
Yeah.
outside and doing something else.
I'm like, shh, don't distract me. Don't distract me. Leave me alone.
Now, see, I've never done this exercise before, so it's an experience for me as well doing it. And what I loved is like the permission. Like when I first looked at my scribble, I was like, I can't make any sense of that. I don't know. There's nothing jumping out at me that I'm seeing. You know how you like go off on a flower, but I like the permission of then being like, okay, well, I'll just see what happens if I start adding stuff to it. So I drew the frame around it and I thought, don't know what that adds. And it was like this process that just kind of like by just putting stuff somewhere, something else emerged from it. And it's not massively creative in the traditional sense where it's not like, oh, wow, who'd have thought a bundle of lines could turn into, you know, a dragon or something. It's like it's a ball of wool, which is like basically a load of lines together. But it was still the process of doing it without having the pressure of being producing something specific, trying to get it right, trying to like know like without the pressure of knowing where I was going with it when I was doing it. It was just like I'm gonna go with this and see what comes out of it rather than thinking I'm gonna try and get from here to there.
Yeah.
And that's
And I
a bit
like
of a
that.
shift in your mindset.
It is. And as you were speaking that, it made me think that that thought actually leads really well to what we're discussing today, or my lens of what we're discussing that today. Because the natural reaction is that any task has to be productive. And that's such bullshit. Like your worth isn't how much you can produce. You know, that is a capitalistic viewpoint. We discuss this all the time. There is the reward in the task is the reward of doing it itself. Putting down this needs to be productive, or you know, your inherent worth is tied to the output, and it's just damaging, and it's just so soul destroying. But also, play is the foundation of productivity. Space is the foundation of productivity. The brain is a battery that drains. We discussed it 1,000 times. The condition to perform optimally is boredom, and it is play, and it is rest. It is not productivity. And when we go into, you know, I'm no therapist, but I am a mum of four. And I do teach for a UK children's charity, resilience and, mental health and psychological fitness for families and for children. So I have lots of conversations and lived experience on this. And I'm so tired of judging myself and listening to other people judge themselves. Not that I always want to listen, but because I feel as though I must be productive. Either productive in my work, like trying to balance everything. And, I'm self-employed, you're self-employed. The struggle is real. There is no paid days off. But then thinking I have to be everything for my children, because that is such shit. The guilt I put on myself that things have to be planned and the holidays are going to be a complete washout if I do X, Y, and Z. And I've given up because it is not fair on my children. It is limiting them. It is stopping their creativity. It is stopping their development, their skills, all of those things, because I feel as though my role as a mother is to be productive and to orchestrate this perfect Instagram version of what the great summer holidays are. And actually, with the 4 kids, 2 will finish school earlier than the little 2. I'm like, I'm working this week. You 2 are bigger. Here's some money. Go on your bikes to the shops and they'll have like a couple of bucks, nothing much. Get the milk and on the way home with any change, get yourself a little cake and share it, but don't come back. Not for a while, and then when you come back, make yourself lunch because I'm just going to do this. And then, I'll be like, okay, I'm not getting involved in your day because actually I want you to be bored.
Yeah.
Because creativity comes from boredom and innovation comes from boredom. I want you to go and be friends with your sister because you fight all the time. I want you to go and learn a life skill. I will ruin all of that experience if I go with you because I think I know best. Off you go. And then when my babies are off, I'm like, don't talk to me in the mornings. Like, get up, do not put the TV on, do not think you're getting a laptop out because that is not happening. Go out and be bored. Oh, Mum, I'm so bored. Well, guess what? Boring people get bored. Find something to do. Read a book. Make a den. And that's where I'm at. I'm just like, go.
But
Like,
it's absolutely about that. It's this like pressure that we put on ourselves to feel like we have to jam pack, like, oh my God, I'm at home with the kids are at home all day, every day. What am I going to do to entertain them? Our job as parents is not to be the entertainer. Our job as parents is to support our children to become the best adults they can be. And being bored is one of the best things that we can do for our kids, and not putting the
yep,
pressure on them as well to feel like they always need to be entertained. They always need to be doing something. And, like we've got a cost of living crisis as well. People, we're feeling like, oh, we have to pay all this money to take them somewhere that's entertaining. I haven't taken my kids anywhere over the summer. I took my daughter to the cinema. We've gone to my husband's taken them out for baby chinos a couple of times. And I'm not saying this in like in a braggy way. It's kind of like, actually, I've not really thought about it. I've not really done anything. I haven't planned loads of stuff over the summer because my mind just can't cope with it. But actually, the impact that that's had on my kids is that I've seen them become new people, like just in that short time, particularly my older one.
nice.
And I had this day the other day, I was like, "Do you know what? I've got loads of stuff that I need to get done today." I had both of them at home. I wasn't working and I needed to clean the house, like do various things. Right. So I just got up and I was like, right, kids, we're going to have a day of jobs today. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do the washing. We're going to clean the bathroom. We're going to do this. We're going to unpack the shopping. Um, and just putting it to them in that way. They were like, yeah,
Yeah.
like money. Like they're not old enough yet to do these things on their own, but I'm training them up for that. Right. So,
Yeah.
like, right, who's going to help me unload the dishwasher? Like, yeah, me. So we had this like
That's so
conveyor belt
cute.
going. I mean, it took longer than it ever should have taken. But that's okay. It's not the end goal, of course, is to unpack the dishwasher. But actually, the goal of getting them involved in it is not to get the job done in the fastest time possible so we can tick it off our list. The job of getting them involved in it is to make it like there was so much going on there there was collaboration, there was like collective joy in, you know, doing this thing together. They were building their own self-confidence and their self-esteem because they were able to pick a plate up and hand it to somebody else and look, I've done this job that grown-ups do. You know, there was so many other simple benefits that just came from what could otherwise be like, oh, that's a job that mum does,
Yeah.
dad does.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, loved every point that you said. And they must, one thing that grinds my gears is when people are like, my kids don't do anything. Well, you're going to raise an incompetent adult. End of story. That's what that you are setting the bar so low, and I get it because you don't want, you feel as though, and we're surrounded by this perfect parenting that looks it, but it's not perfect parenting, and we have such shame and guilt that we're like, well, I don't want my child to feel discomfort, but discomfort is a rite of passage. It is a natural and everyday occurrence, and we feel as though if we put the pillow under that, we want to put the pillow under our children constantly. But all we're doing is setting them up for chronic overwhelm when they grow up. Like our job is to create the environments for continuous failure and continuous adaptation. And one of the things is chores. I wasn't told I didn't do chores as a
No,
child.
I
And
didn't.
I am a useless adult, 100%.
Yeah.
Like if I can read, I can have a good conversation, I can watch people pick up around me, and it never once occurred to me to help. Oh, I'm 40
Mm.
and I have to think, oh no, like, everyone always says, ha ha, like Chris is your wife. And I'm like, yeah, he 1,000% is. We're a modern family, equal rights. But it's so true. And so I see like that was such a disadvantage for me because I lost it all. My kids are, we got to do the dishes and we got to do this. And I'm like, yeah, good, because life is about teamwork. The person who puts the effort in is the person who wins at life. And if all you've done is sat in a game, you ain't going to do anything, my love, apart from destroy your dopamine system, not develop any critical thinking or depth of thinking. You're going to wire your brain for mush and you're going to have a crappy adulthood. So, yeah, you're going to get bored and you're going to do jobs and you're going to resent me. But when you're grown up or in a few months' time, when you're the only one who's allowed to go and take themselves to the shops safely and have freedom, you're going to be grateful that you've got a neglectful mother.
Only it's not neglectful.
No,
But
they think
yeah,
it
I
is.
mean, everything you like, that's where the learning is, right? In everything, discomfort. And there's this kind of massive paradox, isn't there, with parenting where all we want to do is save our children or protect our children from pain and discomfort. And yet that pain and discomfort is where they will learn.
Yeah,
And this is where like play and playfulness provide this safe container. So it's about, I guess, allowing them that freedom to get bored, to fail at things, you know, drop a plate when when they're going out of the dishwasher. Um,
yeah,
you know, kind of put things in the wrong place or whatever that will then ultimately mean that they can go to the shops on their own when they're, you know, 10 or whatever. And you know that that's okay. That like that's what it like doing the dishwasher together doesn't sound like a playful thing, but this is where, and I know I'm always banging on about this, but it's like playful mindset. If we can, as leaders and as parents, just flip into a playful mindset whenever we're doing anything, it just offers so much more opportunity for that task to provide growth, learning opportunity, creativity, positive connections.
exactly.
You know,
Self-efficacy.
it's not about, yeah, self-efficacy, exactly, which is the belief in the belief that you can carry out the task that you're asked to do.
Yeah. Like, and I love that about self-efficacy is that you don't have to like yourself. This is a good thing. So it's for the highs and the lows. I don't have to be in the high period of my life or have great self-esteem to know I can trust myself. And I think that's what's so powerful about self-efficacy. It just carries you through. I just can.
I just know I can do it. It doesn't occur to me that
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah. I've
Love
learned
that.
those skills.
Yeah. And it's not about, and I guess the challenge with this for parents is to let go of that belief that things have to be done quickly, things have to be done in a particular way, because the objective, like the fact that the job gets done at the end of it, like the fact that your daughter brought back milk or your son brought back milk was like a bonus, right? Like
Yeah.
to the fact that actually they were able to go out, have some freedom, buy something in the shop, feel like they were trusted, all of those things. And it occupied them. It gave you some space.
Yeah.
Tick. You know, they learned something. They boosted their self efficacy. They felt trusted. That would have improved your connection with them. Tick, tick, tick. And you got milk in the fridge at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You could have got milk. You could have gone out and got that milk yourself,
Yep.
but you
Yeah.
didn't. You did it that way. So it's kind of letting go of this belief that like the things have to get done around the house in a particular way. It's kind of seeing if stuff gets done, that's a bonus, but it's the way that we get them done that is going to really have the biggest impact on our children's sense of self-efficacy, responsibility,
Yep.
belief,
Leads self-esteem.
self-esteem, and also make it an enjoyable experience.
Yeah. Yeah, we knew we learn best through play, but I want to say that like what I say isn't about saying that there's a wrong way to parent, you know, nothing like that whatsoever. My children have way too much tech, but I have the awareness as well because I'm obsessed with neuroscience. What this the potential downside is of that. So it does play in my mind. But there's still days when they will watch like vomit inducing amounts of TV and they'll have far too much tech. So there's never any shame. I just want parents to put it down.
Yeah,
You don't need to
put the
carry it.
weight
You
down.
don't need to carry perfection. You don't need to carry sh- this standard that has been sold to you. Somebody is making money, and this is the truth. There's either a workplace that is making money or there is an organization making money off you being hyper productive and feeling as though you have to live this life. Put that weight down. Your kids are going to thrive through some tactical neglect. What we do, we're building resilience, we're building healthy adults. So we're letting them, we're setting up these spaces for growth, but we're boundarying it. You know, okay, if I see that something's going wrong or there's boredom, I can still step in and I won't tell them what to do, but I can offer them, okay, and what does good look like? What is next? What is an old? I can teach them frameworks to actually problem solve and to have more joy. My kids will come in, well, we want a den. Okay, we'll make one. That's not fair for my little, because she doesn't have the base skills to make one. And she'll say, well, I'm not sure how to. I'm like, okay, well, what have you got? Talk me through it. I'll be her sounding board because this again is helping build self-efficacy. She's got a trusted adult that she can speak to. Okay, well, go and do it. That's okay. Like, the world is not going to end if it falls down. If it falls down, you come back and we discuss the next plan. Then let them get bored. Like, I just want people to know the amount of people that I teach, and I'm part of this, and they just carry so much weight. There's so much that judgment has just been rammed down their throat. And I'm like, do you know what? The best thing that you can ever do for your children ever is to just chill out and spend time. I know that's really hard when we've got lots of stuff to do, but prioritizing being. And I want my kids to watch me read a book. I want my kids to watch me look at the clouds because if they see mummy doing it, that gives them permission to do it as well. So I'm trying to kind of like uncouple productivity from myself as my gifts to my children as they grow, because that's where we get it from. And, we want drive, we want determination, but it can't be
Yes,
100%.
but this is something different. This isn't about just telling your kids to not do anything and get bored and, watch TV all day. It's kind of like, "You're bored, great. What have you got? Like, what could you do? Like, what do you know helps you feel better when you're bored? Let me remind you of the options that you have here, and no, TV is not one of them, and tech is not one of them. But look here, we've got some puzzles, we've got some crafting materials, we've got this, we've got that. Like, which of these do you wanna do? Okay, great.
Then leave them.
Then leave them to it."
You don't have to be.
Yeah.
You do not have to play with your children all the time. Oh my
Or
god.
join them in it and do your own thing.
Yeah. Or do you know what my mum does? Do you know what my mum when we're in the same country as each other? She would have my kids every now and again, and I'd go and work, and she'd have them from 6 in the morning until, like, 6 at night, all 4 of them, and my mum's in her 70s, and she would have my dad with her, who has late-stage Parkinson's, so she'd be looking after him, my 4 kids, on her own. Never once would she put on a TV. Never once. She would literally lock them in the garden and say, "You will not come in here until you have played." And they would be like half an hour later still, "Let us in." And she'd be like, "Nope, nope, play." And then she'd carry on doing everything else. And they would soon realize that they couldn't have their way. And so then they had like famous 5 summers because they were in the garden playing. And then she'd call them then for lunch and they'd come in and then they'd go back out and play because she forced them into the environment where that had to take over. And they loved it.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I'd come in and she'd have baked. There'd always be like an apple crumble because then she'd say, "Go and pick me apples. Go
Yeah.
around the streets, find me an apple tree." "All right, Nan." Um, and so we'd come in and everybody was happy because she was like, "No, I'm not using the TV." And I use the TV. But I love that about her. I think it's so good.
Yeah, and we all use the digital babysitter,
The best.
so I like to call it every now and again. But I love that idea of, because it's so tempting, isn't it, when they're like, I'm bored," and they get all kind of, whiny and you're trying to work. It's just easy to be like, "Okay, I'm gonna stick the TV on, and then I don't need to worry about you because I know you're just gonna stay in one place for the next however long. And, I can put on something that's educational so I alleviate my guilt from that slightly." But I love the idea of, what if instead of that, we had a different safe space that we could put them to, like the garden. And not everybody has that, but it kind of, or the playroom, or or whatever it is, or let's not do TV. And that can be like, that could be a game in itself. Like, we're talking about playfulness and how we can employ our own sense of playfulness to help us through these periods of time. It's like, okay, here's a challenge for you. We're not going to have any TV the whole day. How are you going to fill your day? What should we do instead of TV? Like, get them to do some creative thinking about that. Like, here's the problem: the TV is broken. TV doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or imagine there's no TV. The aliens came and took it away, or like whatever. Like, make a fun story about it if you need to. Like,
Yeah.
what do we do instead? Oh, I know. Because we're like planting the seed. Like, we're so like hungry for curiosity. Like, answering questions gives us such a dopamine hit that that's why coaching works. That's why giving
Yeah.
people the opportunity to think for themselves works, because they then come up with the answer.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Um, and it just allows us to give ourselves some grace.
Yeah.
And just breathe and just, yeah, it's okay. It's all good. But I will say, for anybody listening who finds it really hard, I feel you. I am there often and I'm about to go there again. My husband's about to get deployed for 2 months, be a new house, 4 kids. I'm going to be in the trenches. I really encourage you to go to bounceforward.com and look at the courses that they offer on resilience, psychological fitness, and well-being. They are the most incredible children's charity on the planet. And they have, you can join them live sessions where they'll like 6-week courses on psychological fitness designed for the adults to then to be able to teach to a child, which is super duper cool. but they also have really, really affordable, like, pre-recorded courses as well. So for anybody who's, like, thinking it's all right for you to say, like, "I'm just up to my neck with stress and overwhelm and too many plates." I feel you. I'm often there. Go check out their resources. They are awesome. And that's I'll put it in the show notes, but it's bounceforward.com. Oh, but it's
Amazing.
bounceforward.co.uk.
I'm sure if you put Bounce Forward into your search engine,
Yeah. And they're doing it at the minute as well. Harry Kane is they're a charity, one of Harry Kane's charities of the year or whatever. So he's funding a load of programs as well. So there may be like lots of free resources that people can access.
amazing, amazing. All right. So we are coming to the end of our show today. Lucy, what are the key takeaways that you think people can get from what we've talked about?
Puts down the expectation of perfection. You are a perfectly imperfect human. Allow yourself to be one. The biggest gift you can ever give to your child is a gift of boredom and the gift of resourcefulness. So be neglectful. Let them get messy. Yeah, those are mine. What about yours?
Mine are going to be about just asking yourself that question: how can I make this 1 degree more playful? How can I bring something additional fun into this? And how can I involve my kids in this? Rather than what can I do for my kids, how can I involve my kids in what I'm doing? Where it needs to be. Not I'm not talking about taking them to work and getting them to do your job for you, although maybe that
That would
would
be
work.
good. That would be great.
But, how do I just live the life that I need to live to get everything done? How can I bring my kids in?
Yes, that's a really nice way to put it. Loves that. Fabulous. Well, sir, next time I see you, you'll probably be back to normal life and I will be in a half term. Um,
In a new
held
house on your own?
in a new house on my own, but super exciting. It will be fabulous. Yeah, so I hope that you just chase joy and have the most glorious month until we next catch up.
Always. You too. Good luck with the move, with everything, and you can share your gems of insight from that next time we talk. And until then, listeners, wherever you are in the world, go forth and be playful.
Exactly. For sure. Take it easy, friends.